It's time for the exciting stuff. We're going to take all these great beginner skills that you've learned and apply them into one long trail ride. So, what's that look like? Well, this is a pretty advanced trail, but luckily, there's a lot of elements to it that you learn as a beginner, so let's go. I'm going to start off in the neutral position, nice and ready to attack anything that comes at me, knees bent, elbows bent, ready to go, dropping in, let's go. I'm ready for anything that comes at me, like the first little jump there, and now I'm pumping and carrying tons of speed through this fairly flat section. Part of this section actually goes slightly uphill. It might be hard to tell because I'm going so fast, and the reason for that is because I'm in the neutral position, I'm pumping, I'm popping, I'm shifting that weight, and I'm carrying the speed as best as I can. Coming over these rocks, I'm lifting up the front wheel and then the back wheel, using that wheel lifting technique that we've talked about. Coming into the corners, I know that I have to exit low, so I want to enter high, so I'm riding downhill the whole way through the turn. This will line me up nice and easy for what's coming up next. As I dip into the steeper, straighter sections, the variety of terrain really changes. It goes from loose and rocky to big dirt sections, into roots and little other rocks. And there's these uphill sections where I have to really use my pumping skills to carry my speed and flow me into the next steep section. So being braced and ready for what's in front of you and being ready to pump and keep going applies at all times. Now, here we go, line choice. As you can see in this section here, I'm going to the far right because it's the quicker line and it makes me avoid the whole side of that trail for a long segment of it. I'm still coming into that last corner high, exiting low, and lining up for the next corner really nice. So you can definitely get away with skipping large sections of the trail, going faster than you would normally go if you followed the whole line, and it just goes to show how line choice is so important to a faster and smoother ride. Coming through these steeper rocks and roots, I'm leaning back, I'm shifting that weight, and I'm staying nice and far back so I'm not going to fly over the handlebars. As I come into this last section of turns, you can see I'm entering high, exiting low, keeping my weight on the back wheel so the traction's high, looking far ahead out of the turn, turning that body, and steering myself into this ridge line. As I'm riding the ridge, I'm looking far ahead. I'm looking for roots and rocks and whatever's coming ahead of me so I can find the smoothest and fastest line down the mountain. Coming into the end here, I'm going to drop onto some loose rock. So I'm braced, I have strong grip, and I'm looking ahead and I'm ready for what's coming after the rock, keeping a nice straight line and skimming across it in control. I just made it to the bottom of the trail, nice and smooth, I'm relaxed, I'm having a good time. It worked out really well. I brought all those skills together into one, and right now I'm just gonna have some fun and pop a wheelie for the last section of the trail. That's how it all comes together on one trail and how all these skills are applied. Now that you can see how all these skills translate to the trail, I really encourage you to go out for a trail ride and try yourself, even if it's just one or two of these skills because you don't have them all quite figured out yet. Get out there and practice on the trail. That is the most practical way to learn, and as you challenge yourself and improve, you can start checking all these skill sets off the list, and before you know it, you'll be an intermediate rider.